And like I say, it's a funny thing. A lot of people, like Rodney and other people, were like, "Well, how are we going to make sure the quality is good on the bulletproof vest and all that other stuff?" And I said, "Well, tell the employees and the people that every 100 or every 50 bulletproof vests that are manufactured, we're going to take one off the line and basically strap it on them and shoot them in the chest. It better to be able to stop a bullet if you say it's going to stop a bullet." So, and a lot of and like I said, any good engineer, any good manufacturer will always stand behind his product. Like, and there are even manufacturers and engineers like Ford, like Ford presidents and stuff like, and Ford or whatever, Ford or car manufacturers. Like if you truly believe in your car, you're gonna, you'd be willing to strap in a seatbelt and go. Yep, the airbags always work. I mean, if you're really someone of substance, like Lucifer White Star Lions is, like me and my unsinkable ships. And like I said, what happened also, by the way, with the whole contract thing, and the whole unsinkable ships. Now, I never said that the ships were unsinkable, nor did any of my people, but they were very good ships, and we were making them about as unsinkable. What I said was that we're making them about as unsinkable as possible. And that's what my order was. And I was trying to see if the ships could be made unsinkable. And it was actually Germany or someone that said that they could make unsinkable ships. And technically, my the American aircraft carriers. By the way, they're not U.S. nothing. There is no U.S. For a while, I said things like, we're all of us are in this, or I don't know. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, it's America. American battleships, American this, American that. It's all American, and technically, actually, it's British or Brianish, basically stuff. For a while there, I was doing Brianish, which is actually Lucifer Starline. But anyway, I mean, I was having all kinds of stuff manufactured. You guys didn't know which way is up, basically. You know, to to be honest. I mean, like there's Brianish, there's London, there's Lloyd's, loins, loins, um, or Lud. Although you could call it loins actually a little bit, because like a lot of the people, they were just having sex a lot, but whatever, sex and drugs and whatever, rock and roll. That do you know My people partying was the least of my worries. Like I say, plague and finding out that 5,000 people were dying or about to die or going to die, depending on the estimates. Whenever a sickness was starting, everybody would always be doing estimates on how fast, how quickly it would spread and all that other stuff, and what it would take to stop it, and all that, and what the best procedures were. And there was even some situations where I had to basically stop a town from evacuating. We evacuated the outer lying areas, and one of the evacuations, one of the people was sick, and it was my fault that 1,000 people or 3,000 people died, because I said, yeah, evacuate the outside edges, and there were some infected people on there, and they were evacuated, but we quarantined them right away, so it only killed like a couple hundred or 3,000 or something like that. People died extra or something like that. There was this one nasty, really bad case where basically one of my evacuations actually led to basically more people dying, and then in the next thing or whatever, I basically said, no, you're gonna have to separate, tell the people in the town to separate and get distance between them, and then we'll just have to wait and see. And everyone always says, "I'm not sick, I'm not sick, I'm not sick," and it's like, you don't always know. I'm not. An outbreak. Some of these viruses were really fucking aggressive, and we didn't always. There was no antidote. There was no serum. There was nothing that could be done other than just either you're gonna die or you're not, and they just had to wait for it to burn itself out. So, and I was part of that. I had to make those calls, those decisions. So, anyway, like I said, we didn't shoot the infected. Some people shot the infected and killed the infected, but that doesn't really make any difference. And, it doesn't really matter whether you shoot them or not, or let them die slowly. A couple of people were infected, and they knew what was with people with radiation poisoning and also infected people with stuff like the plague or Ebola, we did give the option of, well, we could end it for you now, or you can wait and see. And there are some people chose to end it now, and rather than a slow, painful death. Because, like I said, there were also people that were heavily irradiated with radiation, and it's like they're gonna die. There's nothing that can be done for them. And even the Chinese tried to save some person once that was heavily irradiated, and there was nothing that could be done. They tried blood transfusions, they tried this, they tried that. There was nothing that could be done. So, anyway, we've done some heroic things to try and save people, but to no avail. So anyway though, what was I talking about? I was talking about something. Not Tomb Raider. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway though, lots of past history with stuff and stuff like that. And like I said, I could also tell you how some of the car crashes, and there was some other stuff in the way past history and future tech and all that other stuff, and some stuff that you don't really know or realize. And well, I was always around with all that. Like I said, this is going to be the end of an epic career and an epic existence. Like I said, I would have had a much better life or whatever. I was originally around, but Abraham Lincoln, and getting nuked in Russia. And like I said, the Russians were blamed for that, but they didn't have anything to do with it. The Russian scientists or something like that, but they had nothing to do with it. It wasn't Russia. So anyway, and a bunch of people, they always kept blaming people for my death or whatever. And it's like, no, it wasn't them. It was probably like Rodney, or not Rodney, but Rick Bush, or the Congress, or Nixon. Like I remember lots of conversations where Nixon or JFK was going, I thought you took care of this, to John McCain. I thought you took care of that or whatever. And it was me, because they were trying to pretend like someone was me or someone else was me, or that, because they didn't want it to be known that it was Lucifer White Star's house. That's LS's house, the White House, and the White Washington D.C. building. And I am the neighbor of America and the owner of America, and also the one who created the laws and blah 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 blah. So, and they didn't want that to come out, and they didn't want the secret mine underneath the White House and blah 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 blah, and also about how like how the president always had access to drugs and blah 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 blah, and they're trying to pretend to be me, or they're trying to pretend like they had authority over my money or the Lucifer White Star Alliance property. And it's like, no, they don't. That's my house, but I'm not in it. So, they don't control shit. And it was Nixon that was actually trying to get access to the banks. He was trying to take over the banks, or trying to get access to the bank account numbers or the bank records, basically, so he could suck out the money or get to the money. Anyway, though, and it was all lies. It was all just pilfering what is Lucifer Starline money. Trying to get ships built, trying to say that they own my ships, trying to say this, trying to say that, or trying to get the American public to pay for ships, or say blah 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 blah. But it's like, well, what is the White House? What is the Washington D.C. building? That's all my money. That's mine. It's all mine. Like, I own this country. It's my private country, basically. It's not even like, technically you can vote and blah 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 blah, but in the past with all the laws, it was all, I had to check off on everything, even skirt height of people. And I'm pretty liberal and pretty understanding, so like all the laws were basically me, and it was just them pretending like they had power and authority. That's why they had to force me or get me to basically give the go ahead for bombing Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and they actually bombed a lot more than that. And they were actually doing this fake war and everything else. And of course that's going to come out. That came out, blah, blah, blah. And America originally had no top secret and no national security and no nothing. Like, it's, we were just, I'm a very honest and open person. So, anyway, though, and it took Nixon or JFK like years and years and years of going to the Pentagon. A long time ago, you used to be able to go and request any record you wanted from the Pentagon. And it took him years and years and years and years of going to the Pentagon. And like I said, the actual files he really wanted were behind a secret vault or a secret wall. Germany or someone had actually built a bunch of filing cabinets, a bunch of pictures, and a bunch of other stuff behind a secret wall in the Pentagon. So it wouldn't be found until I was in existence or blah 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 or something like that. so he couldn't get to him. So they never actually, like I said, I don't understand really. I don't know exactly what happened at Watergate, but basically Nixon, JFK, Jimmy Carter, and all of them, they're mostly, like I said, they're mostly just killing off their own people. Like I said, it was Nixon that was actually killing off the biker gangs and also the Hells Angels. So it was him against the blah blah blah. Those two. He was just trying to kill off. Originally, JFK or someone had blah 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 with the biker gang going around and stealing stuff and doing, and then later on, it was him. He was killing them off, and shooting them. And I don't know. I said, I don't know, I don't care. You have to talk to some Hells Angels people, cross-reference. They didn't keep any records of any of their crap. So anyway, like I say, I don't really care. It's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happens behind closed doors stays behind closed doors. What happens in the White House stays in the White House. Blah blah blah. And realistically, it didn't stay in the White House. It reached out into other countries, and pretty soon Japanese and Chinese and a bunch of Germans were being tortured, and a bunch of other people. And they're torturing like 50 Japanese and 50 or 30 German staff. Like I said, there used to be gardeners at the White House that were Chinese or Germans or something like that, and they were all tortured. They just went out there and just grabbed them and tortured the shit out inside the White House, basically, one by one or something like that. I don't know. And whatever, it's JFK. There were lots of screams that were coming from the White House for a long time. Anyway, somebody finally went in there and did something about it, I guess. Anyway, like I say, I don't really care. It's a bunch of craziness, and then there's Admiral Rodney, which thought the Republicans were right. The Republicans were right. There's not enough oil. There's not enough this. There's not enough that. We need to go get that stuff from them. It's like, you're crazy. There's plenty of resources. There's plenty of oil. There's plenty of coal. There's plenty of power. There's plenty of steel. There's plenty of metal. And they were all, as the fact was that JFK, Richard Nixon, and John McCain had nothing. They just had steroids, and that was it. And they were trying to convince people to go steal stuff so they could have stuff. And, whatever. Just trying to get people, it's just like a gang. The Republicans and Democrats were the worst gang ever. For which you will never leave, and they will eventually ask you to give your daughter to the king. Which is basically just whatever. But they're dead, so. Oh well, and they plan to kill you all. So like I say, good luck with that. And as the years go on, the Republicans and Democrats were shown to be huge fucking liars and embezzlers and stealers and thieves and killers. And what they did in China and Russia and Germany was far worse than what they did in America. They looked like lily white people in America, and what they did in America was pretty bad. But what they did overseas in Germany and China and whatever, and was even worse. So they were just transporting people illegally without any documentation around the world, and then they're getting gunfights and blah blah blah, and a bunch of biker gangs got involved in it, and a bunch of other people and then they were holding them all hostage, threatening to blow up the whole world. So anyway, and which the funny thing is, they're going to blow it up anyway. So it's like they're going to kill you all anyway. But they were making you think that if you didn't do what they wanted, they would kill you. But they were going to kill you anyway, and nobody really knew that. So anyway, like I say, good luck with that. But oh well. And that was one of the other reasons why they wanted to kill me, because they were going to kill you all anyway, and I was going to tell you that. So Germany and China and a bunch of other people knew what the Congress was doing and all that stuff, and blah 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 blah. And it's all stupid. So whatever, guys, they're all dead. Good luck with that. You're on your own. You just got me, and I'm the oldest person or oldest life form here that actually knows what the fuck is going on. Nobody else does. Not Clinton. Not anyone. Maybe the Middle Eastern guy, the president of Israel, actually knows. Maybe Putin knows. Maybe some Chinese kind of know. But other than that, in America, like, the head of the snake got cut off. And you guys were just running around like chickens with your head cut off. They were saying things like, he has us chasing our own tail. No, actually, you had yourself chasing your own tail, or Nixon or JFK did. He was just laughing at you. He had 30 clones, and basically, blah, blah, blah. There were 30 people that looked exactly alike. All the little Nixons and probably some Jimmy Carters. And they were just playing games with you, laughing at you the whole time. Well, you're laughing at me playing games with me. They're laughing at you playing even bigger games with you that involved war and death and killing and a whole bunch of basically shoving guns underneath women's throats and basically raping them. And they're watching the life go from the woman's eyes. I don't know what's so sexy and hot about that, but I guess it's when they tense up as they die that he really liked. I don't know. Jimmy Carter's personal contribution to everything. Anyway, I told him to get away from me because he was a sick psycho.